Welcome to a new video where we delve into the intriguing world of power dynamics and psychological tactics. Today we're tackling a fascinating topic: the potential use of dark psychology by none other than the Indonesian president, Joko Widodo. For those of you who might be wondering, who is Joko Widodo? Well, he's the current president of Indonesia, a man who has navigated his way through the complex labyrinth of politics to become one of the most influential figures in Southeast Asia. His journey from being a furniture exporter to holding the highest office in Indonesia is as intriguing as it is inspiring. But here's where things get really interesting. Some suggest that Widodo's success isn't just down to his political acumen and charisma. There are whispers of something more sinister at play: the use of dark psychology. So, what is dark psychology, and how might Widodo be using it to maintain his hold on power? Stay tuned as we unpack how one of the most powerful men in Southeast Asia might be using dark psychology to maintain his power. Before we dive into the main topic, let's understand what dark psychology actually is. Dark psychology is a fascinating field that explores the part of the human mind that most would prefer to keep hidden. It deals with thoughts, feelings, and actions that, while not necessarily illegal or immoral, might be viewed as manipulative or deceptive. Now, you might be wondering, what does this have to do with politics? Well, interestingly enough, politics is one of the areas where dark psychology is most commonly used. Politicians, after all, are in the business of persuasion. They need to convince a diverse group of people to believe in their vision, to trust them, and to give them their vote. And sometimes they might use tactics that border on manipulation to achieve this. Perhaps the politician subtly plays on the fears and insecurities of the electorate, making them feel that they need the politician's protection. Or maybe they use a technique known as gaslighting, making people question their own perceptions and memories until they're unsure of what's real and what's not. These are just a few examples of how dark psychology might be used in politics. It's important to remember, though, that not all politicians resort to these tactics, and even those who do might not be doing it consciously. It's also crucial to note that while these techniques can be effective, they can also be harmful, leading to mistrust and division among the populace. Knowing this, we can now delve deeper into how President Joko Widodo might be using these tactics. Joko Widodo, popularly known as Jokowi, has had an interesting political journey. From humble beginnings in Solo, Central Java, to the presidential palace in Jakarta, Jokowi's rise to power is a story of determination, grit, and astute understanding of the political landscape. Jokowi began his political career as a mayor of Surakarta, a city also known as Solo, in 2005. His tenure as mayor was marked by a focus on infrastructure development and bureaucratic reform. He was known for his hands-on approach and often conducted impromptu visits to public projects, earning him the moniker of the Blusukan Mayor. In 2012, his successful stint as a mayor led him to the governorship of Jakarta, Indonesia's bustling capital. As governor, Jokowi tackled issues such as traffic congestion and flooding, which had plagued the city for years. His transparent governance and approachability endeared him to the masses. Jokowi's popularity soared, and in 2014, he took the ultimate step on the political ladder, running for the presidency. His campaign focused on issues close to the hearts of the Indonesian public: healthcare, education, and infrastructure. He promised a break from the old ways of doing politics, and the public responded with enthusiasm. Jokowi won the election, becoming the first Indonesian president not from the military or political elite. Since then, Jokowi has been re-elected in 2019, cementing his position as a prominent figure in Indonesian politics. His policies and reforms have had a significant impact on the country, yet his leadership style remains down to earth and approachable. Now that we know more about Jokowi, the question arises: how could he be using dark psychology? Let's dive into the heart of the matter: how President Jokowi could be using dark psychology. Dark psychology isn't an everyday term, but it's a powerful tool in the arsenal of those who know how to wield it. It's a blend of manipulation, persuasion, and emotional exploitation that can be used to control and influence people's behavior and thoughts. Some may argue that it's a necessary evil in politics, while others see it as a dangerous game. Now let's consider a few instances where Joko Widodo, better known as Jokowi, might have used these tactics throughout his political career. Keep in mind, these are not absolute truths, but mere observations based on his actions and their potential underlying psychological implications. First, let's talk about his humble beginnings. Jokowi's rags to riches story is an inspiring narrative that has surely won him many supporters. he often emphasizes his modest background, which can be seen as a form of manipulation. By presenting himself as a man of the people, he connects with the masses on an emotional level, making them more likely to support him. Next, let's look at his communication style. Jokowi is known for his direct and simple language that resonates well with the common folk. This could be seen as a form of persuasion. He uses language that his audience understands and relates to, making his messages more effective and his political stance more appealing. Thirdly, Jokowi's handling of criticism also gives us food for thought. He often downplays criticism by portraying it as a necessary part of his job, which could be seen as a form of gaslighting. By making it seem like criticisms are just part of the process, he may make his critics feel like their concerns are being trivialized or dismissed. Lastly, Jokowi's use of social media can be seen as another form of manipulation. He's known for his active presence on various platforms where he shares updates about his work and personal life. This creates a sense of intimacy with his followers, making them feel more connected to him and more likely to support his political agenda. These instances give us a glimpse into how dark psychology may play a significant role in Jokowi's political career. But remember, this is not a definitive statement on his character or his political tactics. It's merely a discussion on the possible psychological strategies he may have employed throughout his journey. As we dive deeper into this topic, it's important to keep an open mind and consider all perspectives. Because after all, politics is a complex game of strategy, manipulation, and influence. These instances give us a glimpse into how dark psychology may play a significant role in Jokowi's political career. Dark psychology doesn't just affect individuals, it has far-reaching impacts on the political landscape as well. Let's delve into this a bit deeper. When leaders like Joko Widodo employ tactics from the dark side of psychology, it influences not just their political journey, but also the entire political ecosystem. Dark psychology can be used to manipulate public opinion and perception. It's not always about presenting facts. Sometimes it's about crafting narratives that appeal to the emotions of the masses. This can lead to a skewed perception of reality, where the line between truth and fiction becomes blurry. Moreover, the use of dark psychological tactics can foster an environment of fear and uncertainty. By amplifying threats, real or imagined, leaders can keep their populace in a state of constant anxiety. This fear, in turn, can be leveraged to consolidate power and maintain control. Furthermore, the impact of dark psychology on politics can also lead to a significant erosion of trust. When the public realizes they've been manipulated, it can damage their faith in the political system, leading to increased cynicism and decreased civic participation. But it's not all doom and gloom. Understanding the use of dark psychology in politics can empower citizens. With this knowledge, they can better discern the tactics being used, question the narratives presented to them, and make more informed decisions. Remember, the goal of dark psychology is control, and knowledge is our best defense against it. By shedding light on these tactics, we can mitigate their impact and strive for a more transparent and accountable political landscape. As we've seen, the use of dark psychology can be a powerful tool in the world of politics. We've taken a deep dive into the intriguing world of dark psychology and its potential impact on politics. As we've journeyed together through the labyrinth of dark psychology and politics, we've unraveled the complex tapestry of Indonesian President Joko Widodo's political journey. We've seen how his use of psychological tactics has contributed to his sustained grip on power, and how these tactics are not unique to him, but rather are part of a broader landscape of political maneuvering worldwide. We began by defining dark psychology and explaining its fundamental principles. We discussed how it's often used to manipulate, persuade, and control others, and how it finds its way into every sphere of human interaction, politics being no exception. We then delved into Joko Widodo's political journey, tracing his path from his humble beginnings to the highest office in Indonesia. We analyzed his strategies, his charisma, and his capacity to connect with the masses, all of which have been instrumental in his political success. Next, we explored the intersection of dark psychology and Widodo's political maneuvering. We examined how he leverages understanding of human behavior, emotions, and perceptions to his advantage, subtly influencing public opinion and consolidating his power. We also discussed the broader implications of dark psychology on politics, highlighting that it's not just about individual leaders but also about the systems and structures that allow such tactics to thrive. We stressed the importance of awareness and critical thinking in safeguarding democracy from manipulation. So, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. Dark psychology is powerful, pervasive, and often unseen. It's essential to be aware of its presence, to understand its mechanisms, and to cultivate habits that protect us from its influence. Now that you've learned about these tactics, which habit do you want to work on first to protect yourself from dark psychology? Let us know in the comments below.